start with, I'm going to go in a little different order than what's up here. Okay, let's take this one first. That's 5/8 times the whole number 9. I want to see what you remember with that. It hasn't been too long since we've done that. Go ahead and mark that one. How would you do that? So what would we do first? What would we do first here? We've got 5/8 times the whole number 9. Okay, a lot of you got started correctly. Some of you kind of paused. Some of you weren't sure how to get going. It's like once you did, oh yeah, you know. What do you do first here?
9 times 5.
Okay. You multiply this whole number times the numerator. Do you multiply it by the denominator?
No.
No. And I don't think I saw anybody do that. So it's great that we're remembering that. 5 times 9 is 45. And our denominator is what? 8. We keep that. Then I saw a lot of people do this right here. Yeah? No? No number bond?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, number bond.
Number bond.
Yeah, because we've got to change that into a mixed number. And so how many times can we pull 8/8? Every time we have an 8/8, we have a whole number. So we want to pull that out as many times as we can. You know, a mixed number has a whole number and fraction, right? We want to see what the whole number is. We don't know until we pull 8/8 out of there as many times as we can. How many times, Valerie, did you pull it out? Yeah. Because 8 times 5 is 40. It's very close. So I could pull it out 8 times. I could do 8/8 5 times. I could lump it all together. A lot of you started doing that more. Because 8 times 5 is 40. So I could pull them all 40 out at one time. Or I could do this. Either way. 4. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know my whole number is going to be 5, and then I had 5/8 left over. So I've got 5 as my whole number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5/8. How many of you got 5 and 5/8 as your final answer? Yeah, I saw a lot of this on your boards, and that's great. It's good that you're remembering that. Can we, just out of curiosity, can we change that any further? Like, would that be the 4th and 5th grade answer, or is this the 4th grade answer and then there's another that would be the 5th grade answer?
They're the same.
Is that what we're talking? Yeah, this is as reduced as it can be. There's not there's not one number that I can divide evenly into both of those and go any and reduce it any further. Yeah.
I got it, but I switched these numbers up on accident. I did 8
On accident.
instead of 5/8.
Okay. Can I share that?
Yeah.
All right. So she's sharing her mistake, and I appreciate it when y'all do this because it helps everybody. All right. She said she accidentally switched How often could we do that accidentally? Often. If you're not sure of that, let's say you did that and you weren't sure, go back and look at what your denominator was when you started, because that's what you should still have unless you've reduced it. Okay. So thanks for sharing that. Okay. Let's grab this one right here. 1 3/4 plus 6 1/4. Causing us to think hard this morning. What would you do if you were asked to add both of those together? Alright, so what did we get here? Nothing too terribly difficult here. What'd you get?
7 4/4.
Alright, so when we put, did you put the whole numbers together and then you put the fractions together? Okay. 7 4/4. Did you at least get that at first?
We did get that at first.
Okay. Did you leave it like that?
No.
Okay. What about this number lets you change it to something else? Bailey? 4/4 is a whole number, and so since this is kind of the whole number side and this is the fraction side, it's kind of like, hey, well, I've got a whole number there, so this really is 8. Could I tell you that 7 4/4 is wrong? No, but it's the wrong form to leave it in, if that makes sense. Okay, because we're at the age and we're able to see now. We know enough now that equals a whole number. So let's put it together. Okay. All right. This is almost like saying 7 plus 1. 7 plus this extra over here. Well, this extra is a whole number. Let's put it all together. Okay. Let's end with this one. All right. This is very similar to things we did over the last couple of days. So what would you do here? Please don't leave this horizontal. Okay, it's going to be much harder for you. Yeah, let's not leave this horizontal. It's too easy to make a mistake. You're going to need to stack it up. What do you think? This is decimals. This is adding decimals. What do you think is probably like the most important thing that I need you to remember about adding decimals? Especially decimal numbers this large. Gotta make sure this thing is on. What do you think is probably the most important thing that I need you to remember about adding decimals?
It wasn't on.
It wasn't on. Ella, what do you think? Okay. Okay.
Line it up. then we saw them.
Line it up,
Line it up, line it up, then we saw them.
Alright, I think we can do a little better than that.
Yeah,
Ready? Here we go.
You need your microphone.
Line it up,
Line it up, line it up, then we saw them.
Alright, we're getting there. Y'all waking up. Alright, we must have sung it so well though the other day. See, she said that Joe answered that without us even singing it one time. So y'all must have sung it so well on Friday, a few days ago, that you remembered it. Okay. Yes, and she's 100% right. One of the most important things you can remember is to line those decimals up, because if you don't, you're going to have an answer that is way wrong.
I finally got that song in my head.
Oh, well, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. So if we have 6.07 and 3.93, that's one way to say those. 7 and 3 is 10. Well, 1 and 9 is also 10. And 6 and 3 and 1 is also 10. Make sure you even line up the decimal in your answer, because what if I accidentally put that decimal here? That would make it 1. 1 is very different than 10. Okay? If I put that decimal down here, it's very different than 100. So make sure you line up your decimal. Yes?
When I first got my answer, I put the decimal in front of the three zeros.
Mhm.
And I looked at it and I was like, that's how. And then I looked at my decimal.
Okay. Yeah, and think about our situation yesterday. Would you want to go to eat at Chick-fil-A or Taco Bell with $1, with $10, or with, well, of course we'd love it $100, but you know, if you accidentally put your decimal in the wrong place and that's how much change you got back or how much money you had to work with, you'd want it to be correct, you know. Okay. You can go ahead and clear that off. And actually go ahead and put the tops on your markers and just set everything on your board to the side. Okay, so I'll get rid of my writing. As you can see, behind me is one of your I don't want you to get too excited about it, because then we get listening and we get so wrapped up in our excitement, we forget to hear what's going on. So we'll get to that thing in just a minute. Okay, so we have 3 main things to do this morning. 1, our lesson, which includes our problem set. 2, we're going to, the lesson will be on the shorter side, so we're going to practice our decimals outside of the book in a little different way. And then 3, I have a little bit of a one-page review, a few questions that we'll do in place of our exit ticket today, just to kind of help me see, hey, are we remembering what to do when we add decimals? Are we remembering what to look at when we compare decimal numbers? You know, do we know how to take a fraction that's either tenths or hundredths and turn it into a decimal? And I think you know how to do all those things really, really well. You guys have done really well with decimals. We are on our last day of decimal lessons today.
Yay!
Okay.
No.
Usually, you know, it's a clue that that's happening by what's showing up behind me. This usually comes around at the end of a module. But we're going to start a new module tomorrow that I think you'll enjoy as well. Okay?
What is it?
I will let it be a surprise.
No, I hate surprise. Wait.
Okay, so let's start with this now. Are y'all scared and running for the door?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
No. Well, I don't want you to be, and I even was talking with Miss Jamie this morning. Miss Jamie is your 5th grade teacher, okay? And the one thing I hate about how our year got a little shortened and a little different was that I wanted to get you in this building and get you in this classroom and make sure you had the skills that you needed. These things, these word problems, every real world problems, as we call them a lot of times, to me were a little extra. And so I did not spend a lot of time on these all year long. And normally we do a lot of these all year long. It's a journey because these are not always easy. Sometimes super easy. Sometimes, you know, you got to kind of figure them out, pull them apart. Yeah, there's more to it. Sometimes it's just one quick math problem. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 just to figure it out. So I apologize to you that we've not had the time to practice these this year. We're even by the end of the school year, 4th graders are not word problem experts. It's just kind of a journey, and we're getting slowly better all the time. So we're going to practice a few of them today, and so that's where we are. Okay, some of these are the actual problem set problems. I don't know why they do that, but instead of giving us practice problems and then your problem set. So I will be giving you homework problems in the book today, since we're doing the problem set problems together. Okay, let me see if I can blow this up just a little bit bigger. Yeah.
My neck is starting to hurt again because, you know how last time I told you that and we had to go pee? It's because I sleep wrong on my neck and it starts to hurt.
Well, turn around on your desk so you're not all sideways. Okay, maybe that'll help. If it's bad in a little bit, we'll check on it and might do an ice pack. Okay. All right, we're gonna read through it. What did I tell y'all though at the beginning of the year that you need to find? You need to make sure and even underline. Yeah. Okay, more than that though. I think we talked about it this year. Maybe I'm remembering last year. Yeah.
Like the numbers.
No, I don't. I know there's lots of things all throughout, but there's one thing every time you need to go in and underline and find. Yeah.
Find like if you're gonna add or subtract.
No, I mean yes, we need to find these things, but what did I? Mm-mm.
No.
What?
No. I think it's. That's exactly what he was not going to
You got to go in and find out what they're actually asking you. Because sometimes we think we're supposed to be finding this thing when really we need to be figuring out this thing over here. Okay? So this says Miguel has $1 bill, 2 dimes, and 7 pennies. Okay, so Miguel has this amount of money. John has $2 bills, 3 quarters, and 9 pennies. How much money do the 2 boys have in all? Okay. What is our actual question? What do they want to know? I go in and
How much money do they have in all?
Yeah, I underline that question. If they want to know how much money they have in all, then this is one of our easier ones to figure out. What are we going to need to do? Add up. Add what though?
Add $1.
Okay. Well, we're going to add what Miguel has, and we're going to add what John has. We're just going to put their initial. Okay? Guys, it helps if you will pull out important information. Okay? So on your board, at the top of the board, put an M and put a J. M is for Miguel. J is for John. Okay? Now Miguel has $1 bill, 2 dimes, and 7 pennies. Okay? So beside his initial, we're going to put how much he actually has. So what is $1 bill? It's right here. $1 bill, 2 dimes, and 7 pennies. All right, $1 bill is going to look like this.
Wait, we have to do it like that.
Okay. What does 2 dimes look like? Yeah. Not 2 dimes. What does 2 dimes just by themselves look like? 20 or 0.20. Okay, and 7 pennies. 0. What? Who knows how to? Yeah. 0.07 because it's 7 hundredths. All right. If we add all that up together, Miguel has $1.27. Okay. I could change, well, I'm erasing just that math problem. I'm not erasing my whole board. Why, it's a mess right there. Okay. All right, what about old John here? Old John has $2 bills. $2 bills, 3 quarters, 9 pennies. All right, so $2 bills looks like this in decimal world. What about 3 quarters? Now, I told you yesterday, it's a really good idea if you start learning your quarter amounts. 1 is 25, 2 is 50, 3 is 75 cents, 4 is $1 or 100 cents. Okay, so if you were listening just then, I helped you out. Ishmael, what about 3 quarters? How much is that? No, that's 2. What about 3?
0.73.
Yeah. You know what though? Ishmael just pointed out how easy it is. What if you accidentally thought he just had 2 quarters? So be careful that you know exactly how much he's got. So 0.75 is our quarters. What about 9 pennies? How would you write that if you were writing it as a decimal? Be careful here. Yeah.
0.09.
0.09. Alright, so 5 and 9 is 14. 7 and 1 is 8. Put your decimal and then 2. So good old John's got $2.84. Now over here where I've written it, I've tried to write it so I've got it already lined up. Okay, so now all I do is what? Add them together. 7 and 4. That is 11. And 4. All together they have 4. That's pretty messy, but $4.11. Now you would need that dollar sign because we have to label our answers when it comes to word problems. Because are we saying that they have 4.11 potatoes, 4.11 cars, 4.11, you know, what are we talking about here? We're talking about money. What about money? Okie doke. We are.
No, the M stands for McDonald's. The J stands for Johnny. No, Jack in the Box.
All right. Who can read this next one for us? Really out loud, nice and loud, so that we can all hear it. Martin, go ahead. Now, I need everybody following along with this. Okay, your board's good. Go ahead.
Julia needs $7.13 to buy a book. In her wallet, she finds $3 bills, 4 dimes, and 14 pennies. How much more money does Julia need to buy the book?
All right, so this book, I've probably been in this situation before. You go to the store, you see something you want, you see the price. You go to check your wallet, you know, or your pocket, wherever you put your money, and you pull out and you
ain't got enough money.
And you might not have counted it, but you just know it's not enough. Okay, so her question is, how much more do I need? So what kind of math problem? Our question, I think you say that, Sue Lynn. That's difficult to pronounce. How much more money does Sue Lynn need to buy the book? So what would we do? This would be a subtraction problem. We've not done that a lot with decimals, but you do treat it the same way. You did that a little bit maybe yesterday when you were trying to see how close to $25 am I getting with my lunches. All right, so the book costs $7.13. All right, now the stuff she finds in her wallet, we may need to add up first. So this is really more than one step. First we got to add up, see what she has, then we can subtract it. She has $3. She has 4 dimes. What would that be? 40 cents. 0.40, sure. And then 14 pennies. Okay? So let me know when you get there how much she's got. See if you agree with me.
I disagree.
You disagree? I disagree too, but I just wanted to see if you. How much does she actually have?
$3.54.
Okay, 54, not 44. I can't get anything past y'all, even little stuff,
Not even this.
which is good.
Not even baby.
Which is good. All right, so we are going to subtract here. Make sure your decimals are lined up. And I can tell you're jumping for joy over subtraction as well. So word problems and subtraction. We can't get much better than this.
No.
Okay. Now, can I subtract 4 from 3?
No.
Now, I know that you know how to subtract, but I don't always see that you know how to subtract, if you know what I'm saying. So, I need you with me here on this problem. We're doing this together. Because this is a skill we like to forget, because we don't like to do it.
Yep.
All right, I can't do this, so I got to go next door, and that's going to become a 0. Which means I'm going to have to borrow again down the line. All right, so this becomes a 13. 13 take away 4 is? 9. I hope more than one person knows that. Okay, can I take 5 away from 0? No, I go next door. 10. 10 take away 5.
5.
All right. Put that decimal where it goes.
3.
And then 6 take away 3 is 3.
All
All right, make sure you have a dollar sign there as well because
I hate the
it's...
dollar sign. I don't.
Okay.
I'd rather have dollars than cents.
Yeah,
I'd rather have dollars.
All right, so she needs $3.59 to be able to buy the book that she... You know, this is a real life here. This kind of thing happens to a lot of us.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Especially me at Walmart. I can buy at Walmart.
Probably happens to all of us at
I
Walmart.
don't like to spend money.
Peach and cheddar. Make me.
Okay.
I want something, but I don't like
Here,
to
just
spend
give me
money.
the dollar.
I just like it.
Keep the
Okay. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we have the next problem here. You know what? I was just sitting here going, this is going to be hard for everybody to see, but you have this in your book. These are your actual problem set problems. So this is how we're going to do this. Okay, in just a second, I'm going to put you with someone else. I'm going to give you a certain amount of time to try to figure it out. Read it carefully from start to finish. I'll let you read it carefully. Find the question. Know what you're looking for, and then work it out with the math problems. Could be one problem, could be more than one problem in there. Okay. And then when our bell goes off, we're going to come back to our seats and talk about how we got to an answer, what answer we got, and how we got there. Okay. All right. Make sure your answer is labeled. If it's money, put a dollar sign. If it's something else, put at least a word there beside it so we know what we're looking for. Okay, this name, again, is not one we're used to, and I think the way you pronounce that is actually Joaquin, okay? Alright, it's just a very different pronunciation, okay?
Like one's name.
Alright, get out your workbook. Let's let you know the page. We are at the end of Module 6. This is Lesson 16. So this is on page 85. It's at the bottom. This is problem 3 on page 85. So everybody, you can not take your whiteboards. This is your workspace right here. Okay. I guess we could have been doing all of these in the book, but we can do them on our board. Okay. Alright, please listen for who you're working with. Alright, Will is working with Charlotte, Jason with Faith, Reagan with Isabella, Ishmael with Kennedy, Martin with Valerie, Caleb with Jayla, Alex with Brandon, and Bailey with Gage. And I think I called every name. Okay? This is for this one problem, okay? So it's not going to be for very long, so we don't need to drag furniture anywhere. One of you can stand, one of you can sit. Alright, so put your mask on and go find this person, pencil and workbook. Let's go. You don't have super long. Read it and find the question you're answering. I could be wrong.
In the exam, Put it together so that you know what to do.
Minus 4 is 4. 0 minus 4 is 0. 8 take away 7 is 1.
7.0 would be 7.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Alright, don't forget you need a label for your answer. That could be the money sign, but it could also be a word. You need to explain. It could be a phrase or a sentence too. If you're working like this, make sure can kind of check over each other's hair. Yes.
See.
If you've gotten finished, you may go back to your seats. All right, so if you are still working with someone, do I need to give us one more minute? Okay, I'm going to put 1 more minute on the clock. I want you to try to finish up. Okay, if you've gone back to your seat, that means you did finish the problem. Okay. Back to our seats. Okay. All right. Now I want you to tell me how to do this problem. Okay. And let's see if what you came up with matches what we, how this has worked. So we read the problem. All right. Vanessa has 6 dimes and 2 pennies. Joaquin has $1, 3 dimes and 5 pennies. Jimmy has $5 and 7 pennies. They want to put their money together to buy a game that costs $8. Do they have enough money to buy the game? If not, how much more money do they need? Okay, so our actual question is kind of in 2 parts. It's like 2 questions right here. Do they have enough money? And if they don't, how much more do they need? Okay, so what is the first thing I would need to do here? Okay. What is the first thing I would need to do, Charlotte?
You need to go around and get all of their numbers and stack them up.
Okay, so I need to know what we've got, don't we? Okay, so we've got Vanessa, Joaquin, and Jimmy. All right, well, both of them start with J, so I'm going to put J-O here and J-I there. Okay, I could write their whole name. It really wouldn't take that long. But anyway, how much does Vanessa have? 6 dimes and 2 pennies. What does that add up to be? Yeah.
0.62.
Okay, 0.62, which is the same as 62 cents. Okay, what about Joaquin? When you added up his dollar, his dimes, his pennies, what do you get?
1.35.
Okay, 1.35. He has 1 whole dollar, 3 dimes, 5 pennies. That's $1.35. What about Jimmy? What did he have? 5.07. $5. That's his whole number there. $5 and 7 pennies is different than 70 pennies. So it is 5.07. Okay. Look at these numbers. Are those the 3 numbers that you and your partner came up with?
Yes.
Okay. And I hope you kind of checked with each other.
Mhm.
I did hear somebody even asked me and asked for some help. Is this what this is? And they were checking one of these numbers. They noticed their partner had written $1.62 instead of just 62 cents. And so that would have made a big difference in their answer. So they helped their partner get correct with that. So that's great. Good teamwork. Okay, we have all those numbers. Charlotte told us that's the first thing we need to do, but what do we do with those numbers? Bailey, what did y'all do with those numbers? Huh? Add them up. We got to know how much these guys have together. All right, I have them kind of stacked here already. I think my decimals are pretty lined up, so I'm going to go ahead and do it right here. 2 and 5 and 7. 14, we got 10 there. Y'all be checking my addition. You never know when I might be trying to get you. Alright, so need a decimal there, a 7 there. Okay, $7.04. Is that what you came up with? You agree with that? Disagree with that? Okay, so can we answer the first question now? Yeah. Do we have enough money to buy the game?
No.
No. If not, how much more money do we need? You knew that was going to happen. You knew they weren't going to have enough.
Yeah.
It's like a prediction. All right, so Alex, what's the next step then?
You do $8
Okay. And I like how the book went ahead and wrote the $8 like that for us, so we remembered, you know, that we can write it like that. We subtract 7.04, and you're loving the fact. Okay, it's a triple crown day here at Alamo Elementary School in Miss Wendy's 4th grade math class, because we have word problems with subtraction.
Thank you.
And we have to subtract across the zeros. I just can't take it anymore. This is just awesome. I know you're excited.
Not the height.
Okay, we got to go across the zeros. Here we go. Okay. Can't subtract, but I can borrow from that 8. Turn it into a 7. This becomes a 10. Because you can't, I wish you could take stuff from here and throw it all the way back to the ones place. So you could just skip all this, but you can't. You got to stop here first. That becomes a 10. It's actually going to become a 9 because I got to borrow 1 from it. If you don't do those little steps like that, you're going to have the wrong numbers in the wrong place. Okay. 10 take away 4 is 6. 9 take away 0 is 9. The good thing is once you do all that borrowing, all the subtraction becomes easy. Okay. Put your decimal. And then 7 take away 7 is 0. All right, this is money. So they don't need a whole lot, do they? They almost need $1. They need 96 cents, which is almost $1.
But the
That's all I
plus
need.
tax.
Yeah, you know what? In all the money problems that we do, I've never had to worry with tax. But that is a real thing, isn't it? Isn't that aggravating to think you have enough?
Yeah.
And you go to pay for something, and you need just a little bit more to pay for that tax. Yeah.
Well, with tax, all they need is 106 cents with tax.
Yeah, because for every $1, well, they might get a little bit more because for every $1 you've got to pay that. It's like 9 to 10 cents. If it was just $1, you would be right, Brandon.
I was at this store, and all I had was $2, and there's something else, $2. I can't remember. So I thought I had enough money. But no, it was like 12.
Because of all the tax.
So I
Trust
just asked
me,
my
we
mom
know.
if she paid that.
Sometimes when you're ordering or buying something that's a lot bigger, that tax is like.
I ordered a bow release for my bow. It said it was $20, but it ended up being $26.
$6 is a lot of money in tax, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna do one more problem. I think that's right. Let me double check. I don't know if I'm supposed to show you that. That's a little beyond us right there in the 5th grade. So, do what? Well, I'm not going to give it to you if it's into 5th grade territory. So, all right, let's do. All right, this time we're going to work with somebody different. We're going to change it up this time. Okay. I am switching you to page 87. Okay? We're going to go ahead and do one of those simply to have a different problem. But if I go too much farther with some of these problems, Eureka just does not know where Tennessee's standards go.
Yeah.
And that's why some of these things really with us belong in 5th grade. Okay, so here we go. On page 87, circle number 3. That's the one you're fixing to do right now. Okay. All right, so again, you need your book. You need your pencil. I want you to go find somebody to work with that you pick this time. You've got about 5 minutes, so read it carefully. There should be one person for everybody, because we are all here. Everybody can't work with Brandon. We don't have a group 3. Alright, Faith, work with Gabe right here. Alright, use your time wisely. Read it carefully. He is.
Jimmy is famous. It's 0. It's 0. Six plus 3. How did you get 9?
Make sure your answer answers the question. Problem.
That was so close.
And we will need some blank space for this one. I'm going to throw this away while we're working. We have about 2 or 3 minutes left on the clock.
That's what I put. So it's
Yes, 60. So what? Ah.
Maybe.
like my purse, I can pick it up. You can find change. But like,
Was it really? Oh yeah, it's like your shoes. Oh, I didn't get one. Like your shoes.
No shoes.
You got a hole in your. What's that? It's still on my side. That's nice. My shoes.
all right, head back to your seat if you get finished.
Okay. Got about a minute left on the clock. Try to finish up.
Bailey.
Bailey's a suspect. Bailey's the closest. No, it was her. It was her. It was her.
All right.
It was Alex.
All right, is everybody finished? Then we'll go ahead and stop the timer. Okay, let it go ahead. There we go. Don't want it to scare me later. The good thing for you is that this problem was very similar to the one that we had just done together. So you kind of already knew the format. So I don't have it in print, but you know, on the board, but you have it in print in front of you. So please make sure you can see it. All right. Joe has 5 dimes and 4 pennies. Jamal has $2, 4 dimes and 5 pennies. Jimmy, good old Jimmy, has $6 and 4 dimes. They want to put their money together to buy a book that costs $10. Do they have enough? If not, how much more do they need? So the questions are the same this time. Do they have enough? If not, how much more do they need? All right, so we've got, who are our people? We've got Joe, Jamal, and Jimmy.
They all have Jason.
Joe, Jamal, and Jimmy. I'll just put their. Yeah. All right, so let's see if we agree with how much Joe has. What was the money amount that you added up for Joe, Ishmael? 54 cents, and it should be written like this. Okay. And what about Jamal? What did Jamal have? Yes?
$2.45.
$2.45. Okay. And then what about
Don't me.
What about Jimmy? Yep.
$6.40. Yes. I don't know why I drew the line there.
Do you think we're still doing fractions?
$6.40. I'm just used to having 2 numbers to add. Okay, what did you do with all 3 of those numbers first? Add them. We want to see if they have enough. We want to see if they have that $10. So this is 9. 9 plus 4 more is 13. I'll make sure I put my decimal there. All right, then 1 and 2 and 6 is 9. Oh, so close and yet so far away. Okay. So, all right, what's that? They could ask Jamal. All right. Well, what do you do to find out how much they need? What do you do?
You can subtract 9.39 away from 10.
Okay. And we write 10. You okay there? Do what? Do that at our house. Arms up. Arms up.
You always choke myself. Be quiet, Leo. You're always tripping on your elbow.
Okay. All right. Let's focus right here. What did you come up with? All right. Let me subtract and let's see what we get. All right. We're gonna have to borrow, aren't we? Oh, be careful. We're not adding. We're subtracting. Okay, we're subtracting. Now, hold on though. Hold on though. I'm so glad that this got brought up. How easy is it to do the wrong operation? So easy. Make sure you're subtracting. That's how you're going to know how close we are to 10. Not adding. Be careful. Okay. So, again, across zeros. You're welcome. You come all the way over here, this becomes a 0, and this becomes a 10. This becomes a 9, and this becomes a 10. This becomes a 9, and this becomes a 10. And we stop. 10 take away 9 is 1. 9 take away 3. And then this is, of course, all zeros. I need 61 cents. 61 cents. Guys, word problems just take practice. You've got to see them. You've got to read through them. You've got to figure out the tricky wording. Sometimes, none of these today were the tricky ones that I call that are tricky with tricky wording. We will see some of those later on just for practice. But I'm glad we were able to at least do a few of these today. All right, we're going to stop right there and take our break. We'll come back and just leave your workbook on your desk.